Welcome to the Virtual Cheese Awards 2024, where we celebrate the best of British cheese. I'm Vicky Rogerson. I'm moderating this session today, which is Class E4, Organic Soft Cheese. And we're very lucky to have three amazing judges with us today. So we have Daniel, Keith, and Russell. So Daniel, do you want to go first and introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Daniel David from Blas-Hart-Boyd, a business, delicatessen and wholesale business that is set up 36 years ago in Wales. I've been judging for the World Cheese Awards, Royal Welsh Dairy Division, Winter Fair, Virtual Cheese Awards last year and again this year. I'm very happy to be here. Looking forward to this class. Brilliant,
thank you. And Keith?
Hi there, I'm Keith Kendrick. I'm the Group Magazine's editor for Good Food, Olive, Easy Cook, and a variety of others. I'm an associate with the Academy of Cheese. I've judged the World Cheese Awards, British Cheese Awards, the Artisan Cheese Awards. It's my first time with the Virtual Cheese Awards. We've tasted some amazing stuff today with loads and loads of leftover for my dedicated cheese fridge in the kitchen. Looking forward to this session. Great.
And Russell?
Yeah, hi, I'm Russell Haggerty. I'm a category technical manager at Morrison's. I've been at Morrison's 15 years. We're the international cheese retailer of the year for 6 years running. Prior to Morrison's, I worked at Dairy Crest. So in total, I've got around about 30 years experience in the cheese industry. So looking forward to this category, which I think is organic soft cheese. So yummy, yummy.
Great, thank you. So the judges will be awarding points to the cheeses across three key attributes. So that will be on appearance, aroma, texture, and flavour. And flavour is upweighted 50%. So I will announce the winners at the end of the classing. So, without further ado, the first cheese is 1031. So let's go.
Well, it's a very striking looking cheese, isn't it? Really, really does draw the eye. Lovely height to it, really kind of rugged rind. Can't wait to break into it. Give it a go.
I think, like I say, visually it's very appealing. It's obviously on the bottom you've got your lines from where it's sat on the grill in the maturation room. It's been sprayed with penicillin camembert. That's where white mold that's grown on it. I can't smell any off aromas. I can't smell ammonia on it. So yeah, it's quite a decent looking piece, to be fair. So from an appearance point of view, just looking at it from the outside, yeah, more than happy. Probably a 7 for me, maybe an 8.
It is a very appealing looking cheese. I've got a slight swelling on one side and a slight indentation on the other side. So giving the visually a slightly wedged aspect to the cheese, but it's still very appealing. I'm very happy with 7.5. Maybe split your marks on that.
I think it's worth opening the cheese. As you can see, it looks quite young inside, and it's starting to break down just beneath the rind. And I would expect that in a few days' time to really kind of, maneuver into the center of the cheese, and you'd get a lot more unctuousness. I'm imagining that this might be a teensy bit chalky, but maybe I'm wrong. But it's worth having a dive into that.
I think the breakdown of the cheese just inside the rind is lovely to see. It's just below ripeness, as you suggest, but it's. I hope that's going to be giving us gradients of flavour from the outside to the inside.
I really hope it. I really hope it hasn't got that chalky core. You're absolutely right. It's starting to break down from the outside. It's probably just a week short of going from full maturation to being a nice gooey cheese. So I'm just going to have a little dive into that middle because I can't wait to see if it's chalky or not.
It looks it looks really, really appealing. It'd be a real showstopper on the cheese board. Break that down. It's quite herby, floral countryside vibes coming from it on the nose.
It's very, very rich. It's not chalky. It's, as we said, it's just about a week short from being totally ultimate premium maturation. It's creamy, it's mushroomy, and I'm getting no ammonia on that at all.
No, zero ammonia, very clean, almost citrusy smell to it in an aspect, with the lovely mushroomy flavour from the penicillin aurorum on the outside, the creaminess and richness, and the variety of textures through the flavour as well.
Yeah, there's so much going on. It really is like walking through a meadow, a spring meadow. You can really taste the countryside in it. It's I think the texture is just about bang on. We know it's got a journey to go on, but it's just wonderful eating right now. The texture is wonderful. It's not too creamy, but it's got that kind of a it stands up for itself in the mouth. I think it's got great integrity.
It is fantastic integrity, as you say. The structure of the cheese, to have it to mature like that, just within the very thin walls, at that height, and it's been pretty lightly handled and ladled to get that cheese to stand like it does.
That is a skilled cheesemaker. It's awesome. I mean, visually, we've done visual, haven't we? So aroma,
aroma next.
Aroma, I'd give it 8.
Yeah, happily.
We only went 7.5 with the
Yes.
visual.
Visual
I'd like to go higher than that. I think it's better looking than a 7.5.
Okay.
If it depends if my fellow judges agree. I just think it's really, really striking. And I just imagine it from a consumer point of view, seeing that on the cheese board and going, wow, what's that? And getting stuck in. And when you can really portion it up very, very easily as well. That's not the case with a lot of kind of, this style of cheese. It can run away with you and you end up scraping it off the cheese board. This is very, very good sharing cheese with all that structure in there.
I don't mind going up to an 8.
Daniel?
Yeah, that's fine, especially after seeing the structure better after cutting it open, as was suggested. Yes, happy.
And texture?
I don't think there's much wrong with that texture at all, to be honest. I'll go a 9 on that.
I like the variety of textures in it. The gooiness just inside the rind just marries into the richness of the heart of the cheese. So yeah, 9
all day long. Great.
And then flavour.
Well, it's a variety of flavors, from the cleanliness of the mushroomy rind to the richness of the heart of the cheese, that we're all really relieved that there's no chalkiness there. We've passed that stage, and we know that there's development coming here. So that's a good 9 for me on taste as well.
I'd have to agree. There's the only thing that's stopping it getting a 10 is it just needs to be another couple of days older just to get a bit more flavour. But yeah, 9 all day long for me.
100%, I agree. I mean, if we'd got this in a couple of days' time, I think it'd be walking away with a 10. It's really, really lovely. It's got all the citrusy, it's got the herbs, it's got the floral, but the most, not dominant, but the most intriguing part about it is the complexity of the kind of the fungi, the fungal notes. I think it's really, really exceptional cheese. So it's a 9 for me as well.
Great. Thanks, guys. So the next one is 1040. And that cheese scored 38.5.
38.5. Okay, it's good to.
Oh, wow.
That's our highest scoring cheese today.
Okay.
appearance?
Mine seems to have collapsed down on one side. It's quite brown. It seems to be leaking its way quite a lot. It doesn't look.
This is the same. It's got a collapse and a crack on one side, and the bloom rind has passed its best, really, in that there's brown patches, especially on the side and the bottom, and it feels quite. The cheese feels quite plummy, so it's going to be. It's not holding itself by now.
Yeah, I was thinking that the collapse might have been due to transportation, but given that we've all got the same observations about it, it's clearly something that's not just to do with its transit. I'm going to go into it now. I'm expecting it to kind of just try to run out of the room. I'm going to have to get a lasso and bring it back in. Let's see where we go.
I'm glad I've got a very thin knife here to do this.
Look at that squashiness, squeeziness. I think it's over matured. I think it's gone too far. It's probably a week too late because pace has really broken down from the ride, and it's got a very, very runny centre. We've probably got this a little bit too late in the day.
So you can probably see there, it's a third, and it's probably just like you say, it's probably 2 or 3 days too late. It's just would have been in its prime position, and then we just haven't managed to get the timings right, which is a shame.
Yes, I imagine that the breakdown just inside the rind, if you can see there, that looks like it's going to be bitter for me there, but there's no ammonia smell for me. So
which is quite impressive.
That's not surprising.
So I'd have expected, because the paste looks quite grey by now, so it's beyond white, is past the creamy stage and it's gone to greyness really.
I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the gap there?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
It's almost like a cheese sandwich, and you could eat it like that.
Yeah. Oh, have you had a go?
Yeah, it tastes really nice.
Of a cheese sandwich?
Yeah, give it a go. Who needs bread?
Dirty.
It's filth, isn't it?
Oh.
But it does have that bitterness, though. As Daniel, you were saying, it does. It's broken down to a bit bitterness.
But the centre paste is absolutely delicious.
It's the ultimate pub snack. Wow.
So what score do you want to give appearance?
It's got to be 6.
I think so. It's not really the cheese's fault.
No.
The timing.
But visually by now, yes, 6 is more than fair.
There's very little aroma on it, and we were expecting some kind of, I guess, battery acid coming off it, and there isn't that at all. So maybe that's a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's dying for a cracker. It's a cracker.
It's such a shame because the centre paste is rich and with a lovely flavour. It's a shame that we didn't have this cheese about 5 or 6 days ago, really.
I agree.
And then texture.
Well, it's 2 cheeses in one, isn't it? You know, you've got the rind, which is very, very. It's got that kind of sort of flabbiness, really, and then inside it's just pure liquid, or it's going to liquid. You've got 2 cheeses going on one here. There's no real marriage between the 2 textures, and as we say, we don't think it's the cheese's fault. I think it's a shame.
Well,
6.
Yeah, I think a consumer would be really kind of quite challenged by this.
The 6.
I'd say that you wouldn't be allowed to sell it in this stage by now, really.
Yeah, it may be even lower than a 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 6 is fair.
Yeah, I'm happy with 6. Really, I think it's beyond a sales point, and you're to be allowed and happy to keep it in your own fridge at home and make your own decision. But I don't think that you could actually sell it cheese at this stage. Really,
I wouldn't be able to sell it.
no, and I wouldn't.
Well, let's see if I can give it away later, shall we?
Oh yeah,
We want
I
feedback.
appreciate the middle of the cheese.
And then we got,
So 6 for texture, and what's for taste? Is that the same 6?
yes.
I think
Yeah,
so, because it's actually quite acrid. It's just gone to that point.
Shame.
It is a shame because it had a lot of promise.
Okay, because that cheese got a score of 28. So the next one is 1188.
Okay. Comes in its very fetching little wooden box. Lovely geotrichum line going there, real brainy like.
And when you take it out of the box, it's in there like a cupcake case.
Oh, isn't that? Yeah, isn't that lovely? That's very, very sweet, very well thought through. Oh, it's like it reminds me of like one of those snowball marshmallow balls. It's just such a thing of prettiness.
That's nice on a cheese board, isn't it?
It really
That's lovely. Yeah. It just looks like, well, it needs the wooden box because the structure of the wall is not designed to. This cheese is aimed for collapsing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can feel the weight of the ooze, the liquid inside is kind of at the bottom. So we're gonna get a nice close up of this when we cut into it, because I think it's going to be very, very thrilling.
Almost looks like a brain, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's have a look at this. Come on.
Where put your skin at ooze.
Oh,
Cuts nicely.
So mine isn't quite there.
yeah, it's not gone all the way through to the middle, hasn't it? Yeah,
So I've
That's
probably
going to give
got
us a variety of flavors there.
what about yours,
I've
Dan?
probably got another
I'm very happy with
3
this.
days.
Can you see that?
No, just go back a bit.
hold it a bit higher.
Up higher.
High. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we've got quite similar experiences.
Yeah.
What for appearance? What score?
For me, the prettiness and the kind of the curb appeal of it is a 9.
I'd go for a 9 as well, even though you've got differences in the shape of the drum. That's why the box is there to support it. So it's intended to happen. So I'm happy with a 9 on that one.
Russell?
It is very, very well presented, and do you know what? It's always going to score high on the appearance because of the type of cheese it is. I'm just going to score it down to an 8, purely because of the appearance of the core inside that I've got. So it's not quite there yet. So I'm going to go an 8.
You want to go meet in the middle then and go 8.5?
Yeah, I'd be happy with that. I mean, I wouldn't really want. I can see how it is. The journey is going from under the Rhine and going through to the centre, but I kind of quite like that harder core. I'm getting a lot of different experiences from the geotrichum rind to the kind of the gooey under the rind, and then that kind of bit more of a texture in the middle. But yeah, 8.5 would be acceptable.
Yeah, 8.5.
Omar?
Just have a.
It's very milky. It's almost
Yeah.
double cream, triple cream, with mushroom.
Yeah, getting a lot of mushroom out of that.
I'm on an 8 or a 9 for me for aroma. It's clean. There's no ammonia and it's no dirty notes.
I'd
Yeah.
be happy with a 9 for that.
Yeah, me too. 9.
Really, really enjoying this.
I like the variety of textures in this, and I like the mouthfeel of the textures as well. It's just
There's so much cream going on, isn't there? There's so much. I mean, I suspect it is triple cream because it is just it's just so full of butter and not yogurt because that would make it tart, but it's that kind of it's the caramel, it's the dulce de leche kind of creaminess.
It's sort of non-homogenized milk. It's very top of the bottle.
It's the top of the bottle. It's the blue tits are going crazy for it.
Yeah, it's the Jersey milk, isn't it? It's very rich. It's heart attack on a plate. It's a 8 or a 9 for me.
Well, what a way to go, eh?
Yeah,
absolutely. Your mates are going to love you.
Now you get back in that box, my friend. I'll see you later.
So for texture, you've done an 8 and 9, and for taste as well.
9 for me.
9 for me.
Yeah, it's nice and clean.
And for texture, the same 9 or 8. 8.
You're downgrading it just because it hasn't broken down into the middle, haven't you?
Yeah.
Russell? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go with you. Yeah.
Okay, so that takes it to the highest scoring cheese we've had today. In our sessions at 39.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, 4 points off. 6 points off. So the next one is 1196. That's the last cheese in this class.
They're very different cheeses in there.
There's cream and nice.
Yeah, they're the same. Oh, a bit of blue for Dad's.
It's a blue.
The organic soft cheese, this category is.
Yeah, it doesn't feel very soft.
Well, if Stilton is a hard cheese and Cashel Blue or Boom Gombert is a soft cheese, this is halfway house, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't have identified it as a soft, I have to say.
No.
Let's judge it on appearance. I mean, you can really see where the needles have gone in, can't you?
Yeah.
To inject the bacteria, and on the rind you can see the needles. It just feels very rustic, handmade, a lot of care. Well, the blue's quite even running throughout it.
I can see on your cheese as well, Keith, the needles haven't gone in directly across. They've gone in on an angle.
Yeah. And that's what they're designed to do.
Yeah.
So they go in at an angle so you can capture some of the base.
Yeah.
Some of the top as it goes round.
Yeah.
Very striking. Right, we're going to go across the.
They've achieved the good bluing throughout the cheese.
So with a blue cheese, I'm always looking in this bottom corner here. Almost the heel of the blue cheese, because generally that's where the needles miss. And actually, do you know what? I've got blue there and I've got blue here. So it is a really good example of a blue cheese.
I've got both heels. I've got decent blue for me as well.
Excellent. So I think from an appearance point of view, I'd probably score that an 8 or a 9.
I imagine this is also in the blue cheese category because it would certainly qualify for that.
Yeah,
is it a soft cheese?
I guess a blue. The Stilton's a blue. That's hard, isn't it? As hard as that.
Because I suppose if we're doing it on appearance and the category is organic soft, then the appearance is it's not organic soft, is it?
No, it's organic, pretty firm, really.
Yeah, so I don't know, is it a 5?
Well, I was debating, you earlier said between 8 and 9. It is a really good-looking cheese.
It is. It's superb.
Yeah, so I was marking it down 1 because it wasn't soft, so I was going to go with an 8. Because it'll be easy to see if it is a soft cheese as opposed to a crumbly or a hard cheese when we taste it or when we cut it.
I'd love to know what the cheesemaker was thinking when they entered this into the soft cheese category. It doesn't. He's not something that would come to my mind as a soft cheese. The 3 we've had, definitely, 100%. This is not there for me. I think it's a wonderful example of a blue.
Yes. Maybe the cheesemaker makes grana as well. And
you know what? It's nowhere near as hard as a Stilton.
No.
It's not crumbly in any way. Yeah.
And we do have a category of semi-soft.
You know, I think Beauvale went from being a very, very soft, very, very creamy, quite runny cheese, and then they changed things up to make it more, more transportable for consumers. Maybe something like that has gone on here. So it started off as a soft, but now some of the moisture has been driven out, and it basically is now a firmer blue. I speculate, of course.
What's your score for appearance?
So I personally think that whatever the score is, we knock 2 marks off because it's not an organic soft. It would be my view.
So that means a 7?
7, okay.
Wait, Aroma.
There's surprisingly very little aroma. What there is buttery. I'm not getting that kind of bacterial sort of roquefort kind of thing coming off it. There's no acid.
No.
Okay.
It smells mellow. I think it's very pleasant.
Yeah. If you could drop it over the gate, that'd be great. Okay, take care. Cheers. Okay.
The aroma.
7, I think.
Yeah.
And then texture.
It's as a blue would expect. It starts off a little bit grainy and then just goes into almost a butter texture, nice and creamy and silky.
It's got the firmness that it's not just falling. It's not a crumbly. It's definitely not a crumbly blue.
And then the blue it is not nice and soft. It hasn't got the blue hasn't grown scales.
Yeah.
And I think that buttery texture does make it almost a softer cheese.
Yeah, I really like the texture of this. I'm going to say 8.
I'm happy with 8.
I'm happy with 8 as well. Yeah.
Taste.
There's a little bit of acid. I thought it was going to be saltier, and it isn't. It's got sweet notes.
There's no bitterness at all to it.
Very creamy. It's very buttery.
Sometimes with the blues, after about 6-7 weeks, you get that horrible bitterness. And there's none of that.
No, this is quite mellow. The blue is vigorous enough, but it's just putting character to that buttery texture.
Yeah,
I really like that.
I think it's a real crowd pleaser. This cheese. It may fall into that category of a blue for people who don't like blues.
Yeah, that's a good chat. It's an introduction to blues.
Yeah.
What I call a gateway blue.
Gateway blue, yeah, it's good.
I'd score that an 8.
Yeah, I'll be with that.
Hey, you happy with that?
I'd have gone a little bit higher, but I'll concur on 8. Yeah, that's okay.
Let's go 8.5.
8.5 would be ideal.
Cool.
8.5. So that gives that cheese a score of 34.75. That's so the winners, or the top 3 of that organic soft cheese category. The winner was 1188 with a score of 39, and then number 2 was 1031, which is 38.5, so very close. And then the third cheese was 1196, which is a 34.75 points. So great judging today, great selection of cheeses. So thank you very much. And
Yeah.
make sure that you watch the category judging. All the winners of these classes will go into the category judging on the 14th of May. And then the next day will be the final supreme judging, where we announce the supreme winner. So thanks very much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank
very much.
you. Take care. Bye.
Goodbye.